Have you ever wondered why celebrities keep buying homes in Dubai? From Beckham to Giorgio Armani and even Cristiano Ronaldo. It's not just about the year-round sunshine. These millionaires have discovered something that most foreign investors are missing. Property investment strategy that can legally save you millions in taxes. I know because I've helped over 100 expats use the exact same tax loophole in the past 2 years. So in this video, I'll break down the strategy they're using to protect their wealth from the taxman and a few things you should watch out for if you want to follow in their footsteps. But first things first. Why are investors looking to leave their home countries? Well, let's look at two different scenarios. Paul, who is investing in the UK, and Peter, my client, who is investing in Dubai. Paul is a successful business owner who bought a British townhouse for £500,000. 5 years later, he wants to sell it for £650,000, which would be a solid 30% increase and £150,000 in profit on paper. But that's where the UK tax system steps in. And depending on how he bought the property and whether he reinvests the money, he's going to get slapped with capital gains, stamp duty, and a whole series of brutal taxes so that his 150 grand profit potentially gets chopped in half. And this is only getting worse. In the last few years, the UK and lots of other countries have increased stamp duty, reduced tax relief on mortgage interests, tightened rental laws, and made it very tough for people to make money with property, which means Paul's wealth grows slower and his returns just keep getting slammed more and more by the taxes and fees. So now let's take a look how it works in Dubai. Well, Peter actually came to me 2 years looking to invest there, but he wasn't ready to move just yet because his construction business in the UK was doing well. However, he knew he didn't want to stay in the UK forever. So we found him the perfect opportunity to start growing his wealth here. A townhouse in a project called the Mac Lagoons. We structured his purpose using a thing called a post-handover payment plan. Now, these aren't quite as easy to find in 2025, but this type of payment plan allowed Peter to spread his payments over 2 years post-completion. This actually kept his cash flow flexible, and before the property was even handed over, we were able to flip it with a 42% return on his equity. In other words, he invested around 2.2 million dirhams and he made 924,000 dirhams in less than 2 years' time. But here's the best part. Peter pays no capital gains tax, no stamp duty, no income tax. Every single penny stayed in his pocket. And instead of sending that money back to the UK, where it would be taxed, Peter reinvested everything right here in Dubai. And this is something I like to call building a Dubai nest egg. You might keep your business running in your country, but gradually you start shifting your wealth over to Dubai. And by the time you're ready to move, you'll have set up a solid set of tax-free assets. One that can generate income for the rest of your life completely tax-free. And this is why celebrities, millionaires, and investors from all over the world are flocking to Dubai. It's just simple maths. The same investment grows much faster when you keep in 100% of your returns instead of watching them disappear in taxes. But is this actually as easy as it sounds? Well, yes and no. Dubai can be an investment haven if you know what you're doing, but there are a few things that expats often get wrong. Firstly, in lots of places around the world, buying properties via a company makes perfect sense for tax purposes. So naturally, when expats start investing here, they often get into looking up to setting a company to get the biggest tax benefits. But this is actually a bit of a tax trap in Dubai because the system works differently. By setting up a company structure, you're actually creating a tax liability that didn't need to exist in the first place. Now, Dubai recently introduced a 9% corporation tax on property profits over 375,000 dirhams per year, but only if you're holding those properties in a company name, which is why I always advise people who are considering Dubai property to always start investing under your own name. Even if you are setting up a business for other activities, always keep the property in your personal name. Now, you only need to consider a company structure once you're running a full-scale property investment business. Now, the second biggest mistake I see people making has more to do with investors' home countries than the Dubai tax system. For example, let's say that over the next 5 years, Peter decides to build up his property portfolio to $5 million. In 5 years' time, if Peter moves out of here and he retires, he can enjoy this nest egg tax-free and never have to think about the UK tax man again. However, if he decides not to move here, he sells all of his properties in Dubai and buy a big fat townhouse in the English countryside, then he is going to have a problem because by selling up and bringing that money home, you are making it real. And if Peter was American, the situation would be even worse. So before we go ahead with any purchase, we always recommend people speak to a tax expert to make sure everything is crystal clear. Otherwise, your tax-free investment dream can turn into a bit of an admin nightmare. Now, the third biggest mistake people make is assuming the tax benefits make everything a good investment. They see luxury developments, the rapid growth, and assume every deal is a winning deal. But not everything in Dubai will automatically make you money. The reality is that Dubai's property market is very competitive. Not every investment is a good one, and there are quite a lot of scams. Yes, the promise of 0% tax might sound great, but you still need to make sure the investment in itself is solid. Number 4, some investors come here expecting to instantly make fast returns, but not all Dubai property investments work the same way. Some deals are best for quick flips, others are designed for long-term appreciation. So you need to set clear and realistic expectations from the start. For example, if you're buying off plan, you won't see major profits until closer to completion. If you're flipping, the best gains usually happen right before handover, like Peter's 42% return. If you're building a long-term portfolio, you need to think in terms of years, not months. And number 5, each area in Dubai is going to be better for different strategies. Some areas are better for flips, others for long-term growth, and others where you shouldn't invest at all. But that's a whole other topic in itself. So if you are looking to invest in Dubai, but you are not sure how or where, you can book a free consulting call in the description. Otherwise, check out this video next, where I reveal the best places to invest in Dubai in 2025.